it's strange. I should be saying, well, coming up next, Meredith Ochs.
Oh, thank God we're not saying that anymore. Thank God we're not saying that
I know,
next.
right?
We're all in a better place.
Hey,
Oh, good
Meredith,
God Almighty.
good morning. Good morning.
Hey,
What's going on? How you doing?
I'm doing great. And by the way, I want to say regarding your last caller, my great-grandmother came here from Russia, and she went to kindergarten class to learn English.
There you go.
I swear to God, I kid you not. I was the disciplinarian at a middle school in New Orleans, and there was a Vietnamese. There was a little girl. Well, it was also a grammar school too. There was a Vietnamese girl, and her mom could not speak English, so she took the first, second, and third grade classes with her daughter, and they let her do it. They let her do it. They let her sit here and do it. I love the American experience of everybody. Reagan said it, wonderfully. He said it's the only citizenship you get to choose. It's the only nationality you get to choose. Everybody, even the French are like, yeah, you're here and you got a citizenship, but you're not French. Mm-hmm. Whereas here it's like, hey, you want to make some money? Want to break some shit? Let's go do that. Hey, Meredith, how you doing, by the way? You got so much going on. You got so much going on.
I'm doing great. And you guys are doing great. Dave, you look fantastic. I was watching your 61-day challenge. You're sprightly, man. You look like I can't even believe it. You're in fantastic shape.
Well, thank you very much.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
The dude hits the gym. It's kind of insane, by the way. That
right?
Dave and I at the end of it should be the end of days, have turned it into the beginning of a new chapter. By the way, let me make sure everybody's clear on this one. Meredith, of course, and OCHS.com is the place you want to go to find. I mean, it's insane all the stuff you're doing. Let's start with this. Writing books, dude. I mean, tell us what's going on that front.
Well, I always wanted to be an author my whole life since I was a little kid, and finally it took years and years, and I got a publishing deal, and then once you get one, it's a lot easier to get more. So I'm on my fifth. My fifth book now.
What are you working on now, by the way? What do you got cooking now? I mean, because it's the other thing is you got to keep writing. That's the awful thing that we found out from our friend Megan Kate Nelson, that once you get into that loop, though, they want to know what's next before they're even done with the one that you're publishing in the meantime, right?
That's the awful thing. And as Dorothy Parker said, I hate writing. I love having written. So, while you're in it, it's the worst thing ever. It's like homework forever. Your brain is breaking. I fact check everything to death, and it's just a crazy process. But when it's done, it's published. It's a book. It's phenomenal. So I've written 4 books, nonfiction books. Now I'm working on my first novel, which is also crazy. I thought it'd be easier. I'm like, I'm going to world build. I'm going to do. This is all going to be from my creative brain. But it's like, no, it's much harder.
You probably have to do as much. Maybe even more research.
You have no guardrails is the problem, is the fact that history, when you write books about things that actually have happened, those damn facts keep you on the road. When you can go anywhere you want to, at some point you have to start murdering your children and limiting your imagination, and it gets really brutal at that point. How'd I do?
You did very well. Are you a novelist? I mean, because that's pretty much the process. And you have to, each character has its own arc, and each chapter has its own, it's like it has its own structure, a beginning, a middle, and an end. And then the whole book is a beginning, a middle, and an end. So it's just a crazy process with ridiculous amounts of detail.
Well, Dave made a good point, too, about having to do your own research, too, because if you're writing a story about a lawyer, you've got to figure out how much to explain and how much to say. Look, we're just going to slap an environmental injunction on it. Look, you have any experience. You don't know what the hell you're talking about. Let me handle it. And then move on, because the further you get into the weeds of any sort of technical thing, there's no end to it. You end up literally on a side quest mission explaining the texture of what you're trying to do. And that's another
I'm glad
great...
you said that, because I have a lot of lawyers in my family, and they think that their job is hard, which it is. But, they look at what we do as, it's creative. Oh, you're having fun all day. I'm like, no, when I'm done with the book, I can't speak to anyone for weeks. I have to curl up in a ball.
Where do you, this is this stupid open-ended question. I'm not going to ask you what the novel is about or anything like that, because I think that's unfair. But
thank you.
But what's the novel about? I'm sorry.
but So you've read a lot of novels. You continue to read novels. You love novels, so you're going to write a novel. What makes you? And I think it's easier to do a nonfiction book because you have a thing and you can go after it. But when Jim said there's no guardrails, how did you pick out what you were going to write about? Or a character? Do you start with a character and you're going to tell his or her story, and then you invent a story for them? So where do you start? What's the seed? Is it the person?
You're triggering her, Dave. You're actually giving her terrible flashbacks now. She just got through this nightmare, and now you're making her relive it for us. Go on.
That's so funny. Oh no, I'm totally in like full nightmare process. I'm maybe like a third of the way done, maybe. It's a good question, and it's also like writing a song. Do you write the words first or the music first?
Yeah.
And it's a combination of things. You know, like a song is never about one thing. It's usually about like several things.
I have to ask you this question: are you a planner or a pantser? That's one that always comes up when it comes to books. Do you plan it out, or are you flying by the seat of your pants, Meredith?
Dude, I've flown by the seat of my pants for my whole life with everything, so that's pretty much how it goes. But you do have to plan. Like some people do note cards. I don't have any note cards. But I do take a lot of notes. Like whenever I'm out in the world, and now I do them on my phone. You know, I type them on the little note section of my phone, then I go home and read everything, and I'm like, what is this? But you do have to do some structural thinking, which is the real challenge for me. So, you know, I'm good at the writing and writing like this beautiful prose, but then when I have to put it in a structure, I mean, that's why you get a good editor. So I've been very lucky to work with good editors, but that was for nonfiction stuff, and there was really nothing to do. You know, I would send them chapters, and they'd be like, "This is perfect." So this is a different kind of process. So, you know, we'll see. I have an agent who's also wonderful. She's a great person to, you know, send ideas to, and she'll give positive comments and gentle, like, maybe this could be better.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get you back on at another time because we have some content coming up that has been pre-made. We're going to get you back on sooner rather than later. But in the meantime, Dre, give me about a minute. Buy me a minute here for Meredith, okay? Okay, so you got a South by Southwest. You got something coming up there, right?
No, that was something I did with the third book.
It's done.
Fantastic. Music and technology panel. I was part of the Fanny documentary. If you guys watch Fanny, The Right to Rock, it's a documentary that's out. I'm in that with a whole bunch of
Oh my God, I remember
people.
seeing that. I remember being like, there's Meredith. Oh my God, I just totally remembered that. Thank you for reminding me of that. That was really cool. Good for you.
Yeah.
You've been writing about food, right?
Yes, writing about a lot of food, about consumer technology, doing a little bit of AI stuff, because this is what we're dealing with now. We're all moving into the future with this technology, and it's yet another wave that we all have to learn how to deal with, or else we're not going to work anymore.
Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of London, Paris, New York, Munich. Everybody talk about pop music. Vietnam, Berlin, Northern California, and North Carolina. You've been traveling for work. Where are you going next?
Maybe I'll come see you guys. I don't know.
Okay. Dude, come to New Orleans. This studio is awesome. This is the best place we've ever been, man. We are
my favorite city in the world. I've been there hundreds of times, and I absolutely
You may
love
know
it.
where
Never
we
had a
are
bad
then.
time.
Do you know the Degas house where Edgar Degas lived in the 1870s?
Yes,
we are
indeed.
in
Wow.
the house.
Yeah, we are.
Lucky you.
We are 6 blocks away from the fairgrounds. We are a hop, skip, and a jump from City Park. We are right in the middle of Treme, and I think you of all people will get that. Meredith, we got to go. We love you. Meredith Ochs,
Love you too.
good to talk to you.com. Get out of here. We're going to get out of here, too, because we're done, guys.